Shi, thanks for being on our show.
My pleasure.
I know it's been a year that you've moved to APAC. Can you tell us a bit about your role and what the highlights you've seen in the past year?
Okay. So I run APAC Sales Engineering and the Center of the Excellence. And this 1 year, it's an interesting journey, different from what I have been doing in the past many years.
Okay.
But I grew up or got a trained
Mhm.
as a sales engineer when I entered into the market almost over 20 years ago. So it's not something I'm not familiar with. But the market is moving very fast. It's a lot of changing. So it's quite interesting. I spend quite much of my time very extensively traveling on the road.
So how do you see APAC system engineering team operate differently from the other regions?
APAC in particular is a 10 by 10 flying zone, right? It's a quite a big geography. The most interesting thing to me, if I look into APAC, the diversity got reflected into a few areas. Here we have capitalism,
Yep.
we have a socialism, and we have communism. Right, we have a developing country and a developed country.
Yep.
So it's quite dynamic. So that imposes a challenge or the requirement for us to address the market demand or the requirement in a different way.
We've seen the recent attacks happening around the world. What's your views on some of the attacks that has happened in APAC, and how is it affecting us here?
In APAC, because of diversity, as I mentioned, at a different country, the maturity of the business or the maturity of the people, or from the skill set perspective, to apply this kind of a technology from a security perspective, the maturity are at a very different stage across the different countries. The business are booming across the all the verticals, market or from different market perspective. So given this kind of diverse, a dynamics or diversity, impose some challenge because security right now is a very comprehensive issue. It's not about a point fix or point problem, right? Even because it's an unbalanced situation across the different areas, make the attack much easier, but it makes the protection or even detection more difficult. Even people come out with a product, try to fix it, improve it. The approach, if you continue to use the traditional way to solve the problem, there's no way out, right? This is the market is moving to more and more like an AI-based, machine learning-based approach, try to solve the problem in a different way. But because of the by nature, the complexity, unbalanced maturity of the different market spectrum, will not disappear, right? So that means that by nature, for sure, the problem will become more complicated.
What's the one trend you think people should be concerned about?
Basically, because a lot of traffic pattern or applications right now are more become unknown to the people. It is very difficult to find a solution or simply to prevent it or even detect it for those unknowns.
So it's like zero-day attacks?
Well, zero attack, the attack is one thing, but on the other side is, for example, IoT.
Yep.
Whatever from the industrial level IIoT perspective. Just use that one for example. We are dealing more about OT problem, even that's not an IT problem.
Yep.
And a lot of data pattern over there are not IP based, right? So for those kind of packets are not something we are familiar with. And many of the IT people don't have the knowledge or understanding about the complexity behind it for those OT.
Yep.
So for those unknowns, what kind of solution you need to drive to solve that problem? The industry is moving more towards, let's say, abnormal detection, try to leverage some behavior-based pattern recognition through the machine learning. But basically the trending is becoming more sophisticated in a way about those unknown traffic or data, make the security solutions will be much more difficult.
Many businesses want to move really fast in today's industries, but they feel that security may hold them back. What kind of recommendation do you have for them?
It's a hard question, to be honest.
Okay.
All right, everything is moving very fast. Almost all the industry are in the middle of the transformation.
Yeah.
You simply cannot slow down. You cannot say, "Hey, wait for me to solve my security issues," then you
Yeah.
move forward. So
Yeah.
that's out of the question.
Mm-hmm.
How you do it? I think it's a much broader question. But if I pick up a few points,
Mm-hmm.
for sure it has to be comprehensive. Not looking at the point, but have to look into multiple layers, tiers, from multiple angles, right? Not looking to, let's say, simply for the detection from one area, and then you ignore the other pieces. So this imposes a challenge for the IT, especially for the security guys, how to solve, come up with a solution, choose the product, apply the new operation model or policies into the your system. So that means you have to think more from the beginning, from day one, embed security as a part of your design philosophy, rather than just add it on as a patch or as a value added thinking on top of that. So that means it creates a challenge just from the security guys themselves to think about the security of security. You have to team up with the other infrastructure people or even the application people to come up with a more cohesive solution together. That imposes a challenge for the people how to work together, bring the common dialogue with the common understanding across the stack to apply to the policies or detections. It's not easy, right? It's not easy, and it's evolving. All right. So all these pieces impose or force people to more think about some learning and maybe more drive some self-learning driven behavior, or use a software-defined approach to solve that problem. This is one of the directions it's moving the industry towards to the software-defined security as one of the solutions. Sounds promising.
All right, thanks, Jun Shi. I hope you'll enjoy the next couple of days at the Tech Summit.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks.